Gentleman of Style Show.
Welcome to the next episode of the Gentleman of Style Show. I'm Baldwin.
And I'm Creech. And today on the Gentleman of Style Show, we got a lovely guest. I'm going to tell you she's statuesque. I'm just going to say that.
That's an understatement, man.
Is it?
That's an understatement.
Is that underwhelming?
Yeah.
It probably is underwhelming, right?
They'll see the scales of what we're talking about,
it is what
whatever it is. But that's neither here nor there, to be honest with you.
What if it's there, then it was here?
Then we're right where we need to be.
Right, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right, so
Without further ado,
yeah, let's do it.
let's welcome our next guest, Alisha Holmes.
Hey,
All right, pleasure. Have a seat. There you go. All right. So how was that flight in from Africa this evening?
oh, it was just lovely.
I'm lying, y'all.
Look at it.
It's all good. It's all good. But I'm gonna let you, because sometimes I overstep and I don't get any backstory. So I'm gonna let you go ahead.
You go there.
I'll go there.
First of all, let everybody know where you're from. Give us a little background on Miss Alisha Holmes. Give us a little background.
Well, my name is Alisha Holmes, and I'm proudly from Whiteville, North Carolina.
She said proudly.
Proudly.
She said proudly.
Oh, proudly.
Proudly.
Stop that. Stop that. Don't be that.
Proudly
Don't be like
from Whiteville,
Don't be
North
like that.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been in Atlanta probably about 25 years. I left Atlanta in like 2015 and came back in 2019 just to get my feet wet in another area to see how I liked it or if I wanted to buy a house here. But Atlanta is like truly my home. So I'll say I am a mother of two. I have a 16-year-old son, and I have a 29-year-old daughter. Yeah. So I'm in Atlanta doing different little things, but Atlanta is a good place. Yeah.
What was life like in Whiteville for you?
So Whiteville was like life in Whiteville for me was a lot of developmental like learning skills that prepared you for, I would say, like the next step or the whatever you were planning to do in the afterlife. Like for me, I knew that at an early age of 18, I knew that Whiteville was not a place that I was going to reside because I have a cousin that her and her husband took an interest in me at a young age, so I got a chance to experience the world, like traveling, like they were in the military. So from the 7th grade, she reached out to me and she was like, if you aren't afraid to fly, you can come wherever I am. So my first flight was to Ontario, California in the 7th grade.
Okay.
So when I got, when I left Whiteville and I went to California, I'm like,
This is different.
yeah, this is a whole nother world outside of this.
Right.
So it didn't just stop there. So periodically, like every summertime when school would get out, the same invitation was offered to me. So I got a chance to be like a military brat a little bit, but not so much. But experiencing the world like outside of Whiteville early, letting me know that when I graduated from high school, that Whiteville was not going to be a place where I reside.
It's a noticeable change as far as how you view things, isn't it, when you travel like that?
Yes, because you get a chance to see different like environments, cultures, how people do things differently, like the lifestyle, and the workforce, all of that. Just not working grocery store,
Right.
Processing plant,
Working at the
department store. There's other careers, there's other opportunities.
Right.
And I think like when I first visited Atlanta, and I saw how easy it was here, like how people were able to, just the entrepreneurship here in Atlanta.
Well, back up a little bit.
Uh-oh.
How did you get here? What brought you here? How did that happen?
So I have two older sisters. So one of my sisters lived here, and she invited me here. She was like, she had just moved from,
Your sister lives here?
yeah, I have an older sister that lives here. Her name is Alisha Holmes. She lives here.
Shout out to Sonya.
Yes, and I also have another sister that lives in Savannah. Her and her husband are retired military
I like Savannah.
in Fort Wentworth. So my sister Sonya came to Atlanta. I don't know exactly the year, but she was always inviting me here. She was like, "It's a straight shot. Just drive." I'm like, "No, I've never driven that far before." So I just picked up like in the year of '94 and came here. And just to be honest and transparent, I had never seen so many black people, professional
Hey, look, I was
black
the same
people.
way. I was the same way when I came to Atlanta. I was like, man, there's a lot of professional, doing well black people
Yeah.
here. I was like, that's amazing.
So, and that inspired me. I was like, okay, coming from a town that I come from, and then you just drive, 5.5, 6 hours south, and it's like professional black people just doing it. It's like, okay, 94 is the year that, like, I'm a senior in high school, so I'm like, okay, when I get out of school, I already know what I want to do,
Right.
So I had already set my mindset that Atlanta was going to be the move for me. So that's kind of how I ended up here in Atlanta. It took me from 94, the first visit, I'm going to say Freaknik.
I didn't want to say anything about that. I was going to ask, I was like, I wonder did she go to Freaknik?
I did. I experienced Freaknik my first time in 94, and I was like, oh my God.
Let me ask you this question. Are you on one of them tapes?
Oh no.
You know,
Are you sure?
Don't ask, don't tell.
You sure?
Not knowingly, that's the honest, safe answer.
look, that's a safe. That's
Safe answer.
You can't find me.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that.
So that's kind of a little the background of how I ended up in Atlanta. Just wanting more than my town I know was willing to offer or could offer, and just previously on visits seeing how people of color were like really in professionalism, like that the environment, the whole overlook was a good look.
Right. I'm glad you said it the way that you said it, wanting more. Often when we talk about, stuff like that, it's a need to explore more. And when you don't have, like you said, you travel, you lived in California and all, the different places like that. When you don't have that experience and that background, you don't know anything else. It's hard to broaden your horizons and grow and everything. But yeah, that's perfect. Needing more. You need it more.
I did. So I thank my cousin Alton for, giving me that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, of early exposure to the world, as I call it, preparing. So I feel like what God was doing was he was preparing me, for what was ahead each time. And I didn't know it at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the other piece of what you said that I can respect is the fact that you still show love to your hometown.
Yes.
Some people, they leave their hometown and they're like, it's too slow, it's this, it's that, and they try to kind of, they paint it in a certain light that's not too flattering, but you give it the respect for what it deserves, because that's where you grew up, that's who you are, so, or part of who you are, should I say. So
Right.
I can respect that. But.
So tell us this. Since because this is not the only place you've lived. You've been other places. Tell us about the other places that you were at, and I know you weren't there. You've been here the longest, right?
Right.
Okay.
So my adulthood living would be only other place would be like moving to Raleigh, living in Morrisville. The other places I can say I lived was like, Oklahoma, Fort Sill, all those were like Army bases. Those were younger, probably like around 18, 19, but my adulthood living, I would say Atlanta and just Raleigh and Morrisville. So the difference between the cities, I'll just base the two that I've lived the longest, like Raleigh and Atlanta. The difference between the two, Raleigh is like really a place where you can go and it'll humble you. And it's very family oriented. it would make you base your life basically like a work environment, family environment, home. I mean, kids. Atlanta is the same thing, but you have a little more exposure to life.
Right.
North Carolina versus Atlanta, yeah, it's no brainer between the two, the difference.
I got a question for you. And this is kind of piggybacking off of you being in Atlanta and everything and exposure to Atlanta. You have very good fashion sense right now. You have like the cream colored nude. Oh, is that nude?
Yes.
Nude boots.
Thank
cream, coordinating with the hat. Most women can't wear a hat properly. You're making the hat work, and your hair is done. I mean, it ain't the earrings. They're matching. If you can't see all of that, you got the pearls on, all of that. Where does all this come from? Because you didn't grow up like this is something right here that other people they don't understand as far as from an appearance standpoint. Where does this come from? How does this happen?
So you wouldn't believe it. I was so tomboy growing up. I probably didn't reach my feminine side until around the age of maybe 19.
Really?
Yeah. I found out whenever you develop and you mature and you want a certain image, and you have to dress the part. Fashion for me comes from like I like nice things. I want to look nice. I like when other people look nice. So I like to know what's trending. Right, so I really rely on Google. Like, I don't look at other people in person and see like, well, what this person is doing, what they have on. I kind of go to Google and see what's trending, and I'll type what's trending in 2023, and I'll look and see the different colors of hair, fashion, shoes, socks, whatever, and then I critique it to my own thing.
Right.
So I won't like copy it to a T or mimic it. I'll see what's trending and then I add my touch to it.
What about the people around you? The people that you would hang out with and friends, are they on your level, or is it like?
So my friends know one thing about me, just being honest. They'll ask me, "Did we gotta wear heels tonight?" And I'm like, "Yes, we gotta wear heels
like
tonight." Yeah. They'll ask me, "Where we going?" I was like, we're gonna keep it simple. And simple means, you ain't gotta put no dress on, but please put your heels on.
So is the respect different when people see you looking a certain way versus when you like really dress down?
You attract a different, like, I'm a straight female, so you attract a different type of male.
Right.
When you're dressed a certain way.
Right.
They respect you differently. They're gonna approach you differently.
How do you feel about this? Like right out there right now, you see like this hoochie mama type, like the sexy reds and all of them and everything. What do you think about all of that?
I'm not like a judgmental person. To each his own. But if that works like for her and how she's marketing, I'd be like, oh, okay, but I'm not doing that.
Right.
I'm not like I look at stuff like that and I was like, dang, it's working for her, but I could never.
Right.
And
it attracts a certain audience, let's say that.
It attracts a very different audience. It's like, there's the difference between ghetto and hood, classy, conservative. Mm-hmm. And then I consider it balanced.
And a lot of our young folks, they really gravitate toward, that.
Because they
like let's take Ice Spice for example. You know who that is, right?
Ice Spice.
Yeah.
No.
The redhead, carrot top chick, shaking it in the deli. What other songs does she have? They like the young girls. They're like really.
But they're tapping into their inner character. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times, whenever this person is in the industry, she's popping, she's getting a lot of followers, mm-hmm. she's making money too. It makes people want to follow her, and also it taps into the inner person. That might be their eager algo. Mm-hmm. Alter. Yeah. So it's like basically they'll try it just to see if that's something that'll work for them, but they're interested because it lets them be free. A lot of people don't know how to be free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when you're being free and when you develop into the spirit of learning how to be free, that's when you develop into who you really are.
So it's an evolutionary type
right.
of thing that kind of goes
yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a different way to look at it.
Did you experience that for yourself?
I'm a free spirit person. Like, I do what I want to do when I want to. I really don't care what people say about me or have an opinion about me, because I know who I am. You know, I'm very confident. I'm a very confident female. So, and that's something that was built, not taught. So the difference in confidence, nobody can really teach you that. That's something that has to be within.
So from a confidence level, how does that help you more, or do you experience some negativity because of your confidence?
You can't focus on the negativity. You have to always remain the person who you know you are. And don't let anything or anybody deter you from that. And a lot of times how you do that is you got to look yourself in the mirror, right? Mm-hmm. So when you look yourself in the mirror, you can lie. I can lie to you, but I can't lie to myself.
Well, you know, some people look at that and they just because you're confident, they look at it as, oh, she's arrogant, you know, unapproachable and all that.
Yeah, I've gotten that. So I'm gonna speak about.
That? You said,
yeah, so I'm gonna speak about one doctor that I worked for.
Let's talk about it.
So and one of my doctors, he was an orofacial maxillary surgeon, MD, DD. Well, he was a DDS MD, which means he's a dentist and he's a medical doctor. And I used to be like, Doc, you think you all this and you all that. And he was like, Alisha, let me teach you something right now. He was like, never mistake my confidence for cockiness. He said, just because I come in here and, you know, I move a certain way, that don't mean I'm cocky. I'm confident. That means that nothing that I do, I'm not second guessing. He said, so in life, take this with you. When you are moving in an era where you are very confident in what you're doing and you move quietly with it, people will mistake that for cockiness. Mm-hmm. Don't mistake the two. Mm-hmm. So that's how I learned the difference between the two. Like, I'm a very hard worker and I move in silence also, but people, because you move a certain way, will mistake that as being cocky or arrogant. It's not. It's like, I'm confident, and a lot of times confidence don't need a lot of noise.
That's right.
So when you enter a room, your presence, you know what I'm saying, can make people think, oh, she thinks she this and that because of the way you look. But no, I'm confident.
And then you have another edge. You're tall, so that's another thing.
Yeah.
It's intimidating.
Let me ask you about that. So you've been tall for
most of your life,
right?
Right.
So how was that for you dealing with, you know, not just dealing with men, but just dealing in general, men, women? How was that?
Well, in school, I hated it. I'm not even gonna lie, because I was always taller than everybody. And my coach, I'll refer back to him, when I did play volleyball, he was like, I'm building twin towers, because there was one girl, her name was Lakeisha McCutcheon, and we played volleyball together, and she and I were the same height. And what he did was he put us in the same position, and it wasn't like we were competing against each other. He built this team because when it was game time, she and I played side by side, because when it was time to block, nobody could get the ball over us, because, you know, Twin Towers is what he called us, and that's what he built. But still, on the athletic side versus in the personal side, it was different, because, you know, the average man is not really 6 feet tall. So I am 5'11" and a half to the T, and I always say and a half because that measurement is there every time I go to the doctor. I was like, I used to be 6 feet, but now it's like 5'11" and a half. And you know, growing up, you know, full lips, height, all of those things were picked at back then. Like, oh, you got big lips, or you're tall, you know what I'm saying, just olive oil, or all of those jokes. But now look, you know, you want to be tall. You want to have, you're paying for full lips. Yeah. This is something that I've always had. Right. You know, so it's all in the mindset of people, right? So I go back to, you know, I've not always had the confidence that I have now. It takes experience in life and going through different things and surviving them, and be like, oh, I made it. So it helps you to be secure with yourself, because it's like, hey, it was like this and now it's like this, and then you know, like full lips. I'll just go back to saying that real quick. How much are they paying for lipo or what do you call them, injections to have full lips.
Right.
And this is something God blessed me with. You know, I can model lipstick.
True.
Right. You know what I'm saying? All models not, you know, they're tall. You know, I've been approached a lot in my younger days, and even now people want me, you know, to do a photo shoot or, you know, to be a model. And I'm like 47 years old, and I'm like, you know, I'm not a person who, tall people don't, well, I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm not a person who had to do anything to get attention, because I've always been tall. Tall people get attention because you see them.
Right.
So I was always a kind of person in the back scene. I never had to act out to get attention or anything. So that helps you in your older life, because you still chill and reserved and laid back, and you don't have to do anything to get the presence of the room. Sometimes just your entry alone will get the attention if you want it. It's there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's where I'm at with that.
Let's not skip back. You start talking about the doctor. So tell people where that came. Tell them what you do, and then tell them how you got into that field.
So I am right now I am an instructor. I teach the dental assistant program at UEI College in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I graduated from Georgia Medical, which transitioned into Everest Institute, in 2006. So my title is a certified dental assistant now / dental instructor. So I'm 16, 17 years in the game. I'm an assistant that basically has touched like every specialty, from oral surgery to endo, ortho, perio, oral surgery travel team. I kind of build a rapport where, you know, I have a dame in the dental field, like Alisha Holmes. Oh yeah, she's a good assistant. Like, working for me or with me, it's going to be done right. So what prompted me to being a dental assistant? I have a friend, her name is Jackie Cooper. One day he was like, Jackie, what are you doing? She was like, I'm a dental assistant. I was like, how long did it take for you to become a dental assistant? And she was like, it only took 8 months. I was like, wow. I was like, I wouldn't be good at that. I was like, it's nothing, no type of interest that I have. But she was like, Yvette, you know, Yvette's my middle name. I'm going to just say that because you might hear me reference that. That's what people from my hometown, like, I grew up as Yvette. So she was like, just try it. So after our conversation, I just looked in the newspaper, and there was like pages and pages of high demand for a dental assistant.
Is it still like that? High demand?
Yes.
Okay.
Like pages. And so I was like, okay. So I started researching like the time frame that you would have to attend school and what the qualifications were. So the qualifications to become a dental assistant is 8 months of school and a high school diploma. So at that time, a little light went off, like, dang, I have that. And just to talk a little bit about this, you know, I've had an injury to my jaw where I've had a broken jaw before. So I was always curious to know how they put it back together. So having that happen, and then now it's like, I have an opportunity to find, you know, really find out how it happened. I mean, like how they did the surgery. All of that kind of went hand in hand together. So
how much did it cost to like go to school for that period? So
when I was in school, it was $10,000. But believe it or not, now the course is $20,000.
Really?
It's a $20,000 course. But this is how I look at it. A $20,000 course that you can turn into a career. It's a trade, but you can turn it into a career. There's always going to be a demand for a dental assistant because the doctor they will work by themselves, but they do not like to work by themselves.
But there's money out there that you can probably get to put you through school. They can get like a
yes.
Okay.
Yes, you know, the government assistance will help single parents, you know, in any type of education program that you are interested in, and you know, pay for childcare while you attend school.
Oh, you can get childcare too?
Yes.
Oh. That's big.
It's very big, and but see, it's not. You have to have somebody that can educate you on this, because if you don't know, then
Right. You would think you couldn't do it because I got X, my kid,
Right.
I'm gonna do that and
right.
make sure they're good.
Right. But well, even when the kids attend school, you know, you have to educate them while they're in school, because sometimes, you know, you have students. I have students, or I've had a student maybe say, Miss Holmes, you know, I'm having some issues at home with I don't have a babysitter. I'm gonna have to drop out of school, and I'm like, no, you don't. You know, we have a deeper conversation where I want that student at that time to tell me exactly what you have going on so I can help you. You know, so you build a bond and relationship where your students are relaxed enough to tell you personal stuff. And
so in that particular instance, you found out that what it was and what she was going through. You were able to guide her for the assistance.
Exactly.
Okay.
yes, I let her know you don't have to quit school because you don't have any babysitter or daycare.
We can fix that.
Yes, so it's like resources called SNAP. SNAP is not SNAP. CAP, CAP.
CAP.
Yes, CAP.
And what they do, do they specifically help you with childcare?
So CAP really will offer a single parent a welfare check, or they will offer them daycare assistance.
Okay. Do they pay for the entire thing, or is it a portion? How does that work?
So, to my knowledge, the resource of funding for a welfare check is like maybe $300 guesstimate, but I always encourage students, you don't want to choose that. That's temporary. You want to take something that's long-term, or they can help you along the way, which is daycare assistance. They don't want to give you this money. They want to help you further your education.
So is that a prerequisite? You need to be in some type of program in order to get that?
No.
Is that part of
You
it?
just have to qualify. Say if you're a single parent and you're in school right now, you can qualify.
Okay.
If you have a job, you have to, of course, be making a certain amount of income. Like, I don't know the exact number,
Right.
but say, for instance, if I was a single parent and I'm in school and I'm making less than $1,500 a month, I know I would qualify for CAP assistance if I have a small child and I'm in school.
Right.
You know,
But you need to be doing something productive.
you have to. They're
in
not
order
just going to give it to you.
Gotcha.
And you have to prove that this is what you're doing. Once you prove that this is what you're doing, they're going to help you because you're furthering your education and you're doing something.
Gotcha.
So being resourceful also and being able to help and mentor your students is a big thing that, you know, I'm big on.